Don't mind me. I'm going to be talking again. Not sure for how long I'm gonna go. I am in public, and it's always nerve wracking for me to be in public. I think a lot, so I wouldn't say I have. I wouldn't say that I have um, a fear of being in public or anxiety. I think it's a normal, healthy, you know. With that being said, I do have tendencies of self destruction. Let me be more specific. I will, when I'm being the most unhealthy, my behavior tends to resemble that of a hermit, where I seclude myself away from the world, quote unquote, the public. So maybe it's a good thing that I'm doing this in the public, but no one's really around. It's that time of the day where the sun is setting behind the horizon, and the lights are bouncing off the clouds and creating this beautiful pink hue, I should say, for my eyes to gaze upon. And my eyes definitely are feasting. I was looking at my bank account, and let's be real, the number that we see is a source of frustration. But I think I have some words that will help change your perspective. So, so when you're looking at that, right? When you're looking at the amount and it's bringing you down because there's a number there, and that number, when you look at it, makes you feel sad because you are equating your worth to that number. Don't do that. I think a healthy perspective is as simple as seeing that number and telling yourself, hey, you know, there are people who don't have that number. And I guess what I'm talking about is if we're comparing ourselves, which is the reason why we look at that number and we get depressed or angry or whatever, some type of negative, unhealthy mindset. Just remember that what you're doing is beating yourself up. And if you want to compare bank accounts, then you can also compare bank accounts for other people who don't have as much. So whatever number you're at, just know that while you might not feel the best type of way about it, it's a fluid thing. And there's some days where the amount's going to be higher, and some days where it's going to be lower. And some days you're going to have more than other people, and some days you're not going to have as much as you used to have. So there's always going to be someone with less money in their bank account, you know? As long as you're in the positive, I say, hey, pat yourself on the back for that. Or the shoulder. And that's what inspired me to hit the record button right now. I just got back from working, and I went to shop for some groceries after I finished my shift. So now I'm here parked. I'm ready to go walk to my house and eat because I am hungry, man. I've only had one meal. Only. You know what I'm saying? Only. I dropped something. I dropped my keys, man. So, yeah, I wanna go to my house and well, not my house, but my dad's house, and I want to make myself a meal, kind of relax a little bit, and then we can see what we can do when we hop on the keys. We're gonna make a little bit of music, and then wind the night down with some reading. Or maybe I'll read first, and then I'll get to making music. Maybe that'll be the way. No, I think I want to make the music first and then read. I think that's what I want to do. Yeah. It was a warm day today, so that means that the night is going to be not as cold as it's been for a while. So, it's January 28th. Tomorrow's January 29th. So it's still winter technically, but I think we're going to have a little bit of a what's it called? A heat wave. And supposedly, from what I saw briefly, it's gonna last for about a week. So big ups to the weather. Yeah? 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 Big ups to the weather, yeah? I'm laughing at myself. Let me see. Let me think if there's anything else that I want to say pressingly. I don't think so. I think that was just about it. I mean, I could keep talking. Don't get me wrong. I definitely could keep talking. I just don't want to at the moment. Well, as I say that, I've been thinking a lot these past 2 to 3 days, which is not unusual for me. And, the first of the month is coming up, and I was planning on how much money I need to earn quickly. I didn't sit down and go into this. I spent 5 minutes thinking, okay, running the numbers through my head quickly. So I've kind of planned out how my week is gonna go, and I'm kind of working. I've got the next, how'd you call it? I've got Monday, which is tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I have an idea of how those days are gonna go. I have goals for how much I want to earn, and obviously the gym is gonna be a big important factor, and music. I wanna hit music, but I also was thinking today as I was working. I was listening to comedy podcast, and it got me wondering what it would be like. Well, not really wondering, but it got me thinking. I'm an entrepreneur. Why not add comedy as an egg in the basket of things that I'm trying to do? We know I'm trying to do music. We know at one point I was really trying to do dance. And I'm also working DoorDash, if you can count that as an egg, which I will. We'll put that in the basket too. So that's 3. Why not add comedy into a nice little 4 eggs in the basket? So that's a thought that I had today while I was working. I went hard at the gym. I sweated up a storm. That's about it. All in all, it's kind of been a boring day, but I don't know if you've heard this, what I'm about to say, but boring is healthy. Healthy is boring. I heard that somewhere, and yeah, it kind of stuck with me. That same sentiment, that same idea, or the same feeling that healthy is boring. Not only did I hear it from one source, but then I also heard it from another source. 2 different sources. And so yeah, it's just kind of in my head. So it's kind of boring. Trust me, there's nothing more. There's nothing that my self-destructive, self-sabotaging self wants to do than just fuck everything up, But I've got a groove going. Um, I'm a snowball, picking up momentum down a steep incline. So I'm it's not easy. Whew. It is definitely not easy, but um, I had another thought. This one was when I was in the shower. I was showering. Not at my dad's place, but at the Planet Fitness. Shout out to the Planet. Big ups to Planet Fitness, yeah. Oh, cars passing by. Can you see the lights across my face? What's up, dude? Big ups. The thought was. Let me stop that. The thought was, I was kind of having an analogy in my head, some sort of metaphor, about rock bottom, and it perfectly describes the mindset that I'm trying to keep myself in. So when you're at rock bottom, right? It's dark, it's lonely, and it's cold. So when you first fall in, you might be there for a while because you're hurt, as emotional and as sentimental as I'm being right now. It's the truth. So you know it's hard to climb back up. I'm making the analogy. I'm making a similarity or drawing similarities between this analogy and working and the schedule and the groove that I've got going for myself right now. And so when you're in that pit and you've time has passed and you've recovered and you licked your wounds, so to speak, um, it's hard to climb back up, but it's suicide to stay in the pit, you know? So that was the analogy that I had. Anyways, this is still the Matrix, and I don't know. I feel like I've climbed up. I've climbed up the pit. I have. And now it's time to make my way up the mountain. The thing is, there's a lot of different paths to take. It's not just one straight shot to the top of the mountain. You can go left, you can go right. You could take this path that goes up a little bit, but then down a little bit, but then you got to go back up. And then there's this path to the right that kind of takes you into like this weird jungle area, and you might get lost for a bit, but eventually you'll find out that the forest clears if you just keep on pushing along, no steps backwards, and then you'll see just different paths. So right now I'm at that point. I've already climbed up the pit. I've already walked away from it, and now I'm just trudging along. I haven't really picked one direction. Again, these directions are similar to the eggs in the baskets um, that I mentioned earlier. Hopefully one of the eggs hatch. Maybe they all will. Who's to say? It's not really important. It's not important in terms of like, well, I shouldn't say that. I should be more specific. It's not that it's not important. It's that it's not important if it means you're going to fall back into the pit. I'm hearing a black mother scream at her child. It's breaking my concentration. And now there's an airplane in the sky, which is annoying to me. But this is all part of the Matrix. And the Matrix is designed for me, and only me. All these other humans, code, just code. Anyways, the sun is reaching the final stage of its descent down the horizon. I think I'm reaching near the end of the video. 16 minutes, hey. Could have been longer. But I think I've exhausted all that I've wanted to say. My voice is a little sore. I was singing a lot yesterday. I've been practicing singing. Really what I've been doing is I've been practicing believing in myself. Trying to commit to the day. Trying to commit to my life. I'm tired. You know, one of the things that also makes it hard to walk down the paths, because believe me, it's hard. It was hard to climb out of the pit, and it's also hard to, get to the top of the mountain. But one of the things that makes it harder is the grind. Like people talk about the grind, and they talk about it in glowing terms. They love talking about the grind. It's like, oh, the grind this, the grind that. And it's like, yeah, well, don't, call me stupid. You can call me dumb. But isn't the point of grinding to take something that was solid and turn it into a sort of like a powder? You grind chili into a dust. You grind spices that were, whole. And then you grind them into little. So, you grind them into a fine grain. If you take beans and grind them up, you grind it into a paste. So, people don't talk about that part of the grind. Don't get me wrong. The grind is necessary. You need to grind up the chili. You need to grind up the beans. You need to grind up the stuff because you need to make an excellent dish. But no one talks about that aspect of it. They just go straight from the grind to the end product. And it's like, no, there's a whole middle there. And that middle is, let's just be real and call it what it is. You're grinding shit into particles. So it's tough, man. It's tough to be healthy every fucking day. But it's only tough, I think, until it isn't. But that process takes a while. It takes a while for the grind to feel like normal, which is ultimately the goal, right? Like, healthy needs to become a norm for someone who, well, let's be real, like for the people who are not healthy, people who have personalities that are drawn to addiction. Let me get the vocal cords all moist for a second here. I'm sick. I'm getting sick. Or maybe I'm recovering from a sickness. Not really 100% sure yet. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. Another car is passing. Pass the dutchie on the left-hand side. Pass the dutchie on the left-hand side. Let's have a ball. I've been sitting in this car for 20 minutes. Just talking to myself. Maybe today will just be a short video. I usually try to make the videos 40 minutes to an hour. Only because I think it's important to talk. Even if it is to myself, you know? Strides forward, those are important. It's important to it's important, and what I'm talking about when I refer to it is milestones. I think milestones are important when trying to build I mentioned about how I want healthy to become normal, and that process is difficult, which is what I've said. I've said that. And milestones are important because it's difficult to keep. So it's difficult to keep because it's too easy to fall back into habits that aren't the most productive, which is the reason why they need to change in the first place. And I've accomplished milestones. I really have. And I'm looking to accomplish more. But I'm only going to accomplish more milestones if I keep it pushing. So, here's to keeping it pushing. Another car. Tomorrow's another day. And I'm sure it's going to be tough. I'm being real. Tomorrow it's not going to be easy. It's not like I'm going to spring out of bed at 6 o'clock, go to the gym at 8, finish by 11, work until fucking 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially because then by the time I get back, it'll be 5:30, which means that my dad is going to be coming home around the same time. Like, that's going to be really difficult to do. Like, it's difficult to but I know there are things on the checklist that I got to cross out. And so, working, exercise, definitely two that I have to cross out. And then let's not forget that Craigslist is a thing, and I've been sending emails out on Craigslist. I've been trying to make it a habit to take time out of my day to reach out to different people, and I have been doing that. So good things, I think. I've been doing good, even though it doesn't feel like it. Honestly, it really doesn't. Because again, I'm a self-destructive. When I'm being unhealthy, me personally, when I'm being unhealthy, I'm being self-destructive and I'm being self-sabotaging. But I've grown, and I'm looking to continue to grow, and I'm looking to be that snowball down that incline. I'm looking to pick up momentum, pushing forward, or maybe like diagonally, but either way, it's not steps backwards or even steps to the side. We got to keep moving in a positive direction. And I'll bring it back full circle to how I opened up the video talking about the bank account. Positivity. If you look at that bank account and the numbers are positive numbers, because there's negative numbers too, you know, um, then it's all good, baby. It's all good. Stay in the positive. Stay in the positive. There you go.